Hello everyone, I hope you're well. So, sorry I haven't been around. Lots of just different things going on. And yeah, just trying to motivate myself to get back in. You know, I did a couple of videos. I was off for a while, did a couple of videos, and then I went off again in my own little world of doing, but not being very constructive. So I did work on this, however, off camera, and I've added lots of stitching. Just, you know, random stitches really. Nothing. There's some circles. There's some chevrons there, another circle there, and then I've done some random seed stitching. So, oh, and some crosses there, that's quite nice. That looks almost, is it shirred? When you shirr fabric, I don't know if that's right, but it looks like that. Anyway, so I can't remember where I last left off from this, sorry. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to attach it. So originally I was going to attach it there, and then that was going to hide the attachments. But I realised I wanted it bigger because it's going to get. I needed this one to be bigger. So what I need to do then is attach it here. Now that's quite bulky, so I think I'm going to take off a little bit more of that, and I might even take off that layer of fabric underneath, or just fold it in. I suppose I could fold it in, and I could do the same there. I could take, actually I think I'll do that. The stitching that you can see there that I'm pulling apart is the base stitching, so it's not really going to do very much. It's not going to be a problem if I cut that bit off. I think I'll do that just so it's not so bulky. Now, I can't find my proper scissors. I don't even know if this is going to cut. Yeah, I've lost. I think I know where they are. Well, I'll see if this works. So it needs to be on the inside. So, and then I can make a base for it. So once I've done this bit, then I can make a base for it as well. So yeah, I'm really quite far behind, picking this back up. I am feeling more motivated at the moment, and I went away for a week to spend time with my family, so that's one of the reasons I wasn't here. And I was sort of looking back. I wasn't looking forward necessarily to leaving my family. In fact, I didn't want to leave them at all, but I enjoyed coming back and I was thinking about the projects that I'd like to do. So I think I'm hoping that this is sort of my way back in. Didn't do that very well. It was a bit messy, but that's okay. This side should be easier. I hope I'm not. So let me just see. So that would come over like that. That would go in like that. Now that isn't too bulky already. That's got rid of a fair bit. So I think I won't take that off because I probably need that. So I think what's making it bulky is this. I might cut a bit of this off. Don't to cut that blue though, but unfortunately I'm going to have to. One of the mistakes that I made with this was coming all the way through to this layer. I should have just gone through that layer, because well, actually I haven't done it very much because I would be pulling these stitches out soon. Right, let's see if that works better. Let's pull that in and that in, and then hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do here. Shouldn't be hard. I mean, I can always put something there. So I'm just basically pulling them together like that. Shouldn't be hard. Okay. I'm going to make a start. So I'm just going to use plain old white thread. Shouldn't need anything, you know, hopefully it's strong enough. I did wonder whether to use some of that crochet thread, I believe. Let's see, I have my needle here. I'll use no. Oh, I need a long one. Sorry. I use nope. No, definitely not that one. That's my, that shouldn't be in there actually. Put it back in. Yeah, I'll use that one. It's not my best needle, but should be fine. So if I need to do anything to it, I apologise for my hands. They are horrendous because I've been doing a lot of gardening and, you know, can never quite, I tend to, I have the gloves, I'm good at wearing the gloves for about 10 minutes and then they come off. I don't know if any of you guys are like that. It's a really bad habit of mine. Right, so that, we'll get sewn to that. Just trying to figure out how to do it. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to just, you know, wing it basically. So I can still cut some of this bulk off. I'm just gonna pull it together for now and then we'll see how we go. So I hope you guys are all okay. I'm okay. Still struggling with some health problems, but you know, not terribly, not you know, not as bad as I was. So I'm feeling generally okay, if a little tired. Thank you for all your lovely comments on my last video. You know who you are, and obviously the comments are there and they're lovely as usual, very supportive. I have a very supportive community. Now I'm doing this and I'm thinking, is there a better way to do it? I've seen people do it like this, so it's an invisible. So I think you go in like that. No, how would you do it? You come over, go like that, come over, and then go like that. I think that's how you do it. It's a bit strange though. I mean, I don't see the difference, but we'll see. Am I supposed? No, it has to be like that. Oh, you might not be able to see. So basically I'm going in, I think I've seen it being done, it's like an invisible stitch. So I'm going in one side, pulling, you know, making a stitch and pulling it. And then going in the other side, doing the same thing basically. Pulling it in. So if this works, fantastic. If not, then I'll have to redo. Maybe, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I have to do it again anyway, just to give it some strength, you know. So I had a lovely week in the south with my family. We didn't do anything. It was half term and I wanted to be around the children at half term. And we had a lovely time. No, it wasn't half term. What am I saying? So my daughter and her partner went away for the weekend for her birthday, and they had a lovely time, and I had a lovely time with the children. So I looked after the children in their home, and it was just really nice. We had lovely, lovely weather. We're having lovely weather. Well, no, what am I saying? We're having very, very hot weather at the moment in the UK. You might have heard about it. Well, we're not the only ones. The whole of Europe is having hot weather, I think. Apart from some places, which I think Scotland hasn't been so hot, but oh my goodness, the south of England has been horrendously hot. Now, people always laugh at the British because we have, we're always talking about the weather, and we also, we complain a little bit of heat, but actually we do complain a lot about the heat, but we also, hang on, what am I doing? Yeah, so there. Keep forgetting how to do the stitch. I'm not sure if this is any better than what I was doing, but I'm going to keep going with it. So one of the reasons why we are obsessed with our weather in terms of complaining about the heat that other countries have regularly is because our infrastructure is not set up for it. We don't have air conditioning in our homes. A few businesses now have got it, but, well, no, quite a few businesses will have it, I believe, but some schools are just putting it in the south, because the new schools are putting it in, I believe. We just don't have the infrastructure. We don't have like the air conditioning, as I said. So if it's very, very hot, our homes are very hot, we can use fans and things like that, but at the end of the day, they're only, I keep doing this wrong, I think. Fans will only go so far, and they tend to blow hot air around, is what I find. So, our roads, everything is built around a temperate environment here. And a temperate environment is cooler, rainier, and fairly much the same. The odd, I'm definitely not going to get a really good thing here. I'm going to have to go over it again. So we're warm enough, but we're generally not a hot country. We have had our moments. It is definitely getting warmer in this country. The summers are definitely warmer. Our winters are warmer in the earlier part of the winter. Now, we can cope by doing things. There'll always be vulnerable people, older people, children, ill people, disabled, etc. Babies. There'll always be vulnerable people. But hopefully they will have either instructions to look after themselves, or they will have a carer who will be able to support them. A guardian, a carer, whatever, or a family. Unfortunately, animals don't have that, do they? So animals in this country are not used to the heat either, and they must be suffering. So, what have I done? How am I doing it? yeah, it's just, if you think about it, I mean, little Rudy, I've been keeping him cool by putting a wet towel over him and massaging it into him. He's been loving that. I haven't taken him out in the warm heat of the day, so he goes out, hang on, yeah. See, I can't quite get what I'm doing. You probably can't either. But I think this is sort of like that invisible stitching. You can pull it together. I'm not sure. I might be getting it wrong. But yeah, so Rudy is keeping nice and cool because he's not going out in the heat very often. And when he does, I can make sure that he has water, etc., etc. So our pets generally will be safe, hopefully. It would be terrible if they weren't. But obviously wild animals will always struggle in this heat, especially birds. I mean, I don't know how they're going to keep themselves cool unless they find water, like a bird bath. And insects are all sort of vulnerable, I guess, as well, of dying in this heat. So I don't know how it affects wild animals and insects and all the rest, but I'm pretty sure it will, because again, they're not acclimatized, so we're definitely going through some changes in our weather systems, and this is potentially quite extreme, possibly something that will happen more regularly. We are definitely having warmer summers, as I said. Now, that's okay. That's not too bad. Yeah, so we're definitely having warmer summers. I'll probably cut that bit off. I think it's fairly neat. Let me just pull that in. So, yeah, I'm concerned for wild animals. I really am. They will struggle in this heat. I mean, here it's round about today. I think it's 28. It was 29 yesterday, and it felt horrendous. We have very humid heat as well in this country. I know other countries do as well. So, anyway, apparently Spain and Paris and parts of France are really suffering. So, and I know in the south, my family all live in the south, so they'll tell me how it is. Right, let's just have a look. It's not bad. It's actually quite strong. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be, throwing it around or anything. I do think I could put something there. I could do some stitching on this side and bring it in a little bit more, but I'm happy with that. Just going to cut that bit off because it's a bit uneven, so I don't need that one. There we go. Now I'm gonna just cut that bit as well. I need to think about what I'm doing here, because I need, obviously, when I put my base on, like, it's going to be like that. The flower indicates how it's going to be. I'm not going to have it upside down. There's the inside, by the way, so I can fold those flat and sew them. I can cut that little bit off there, or one layer off there, and just push it flat. It does need more stitching, but anyway, it's okay. So what I need to think about then is the bottom of this needs a base. So how am I going to do that? So the last time what I did is I cut out a circle, and then I stitched it in, and I used the little edge to pull it in. This is going to slightly affect this edge here, but that's okay. I can live with that. It shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just turn it inside out for a minute, and I'm going to just take off this layer here because I don't need it, and it just adds bulk. I was rambling on. I was very aware I was rambling on then. Should I cut that off as well, or shall I stitch it down? I think I'll stitch it down. I might do that now, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. It's just to neaten it up, tidy it up a little bit on the inside. At this stage, what I could do also is cut off. So I'll show you what I do with this. So I just basically cut it off. I'll use a thick needle and I can pull it out. I can use, hang on, what have I done? What have I done here? So, no, it's going to have to be cut. Sometimes you just have to cut it and then take it out with one of the pickers. Have I got one? I know that's not their proper name, picker. I think I've put it somewhere because I think I took it for something. But basically you can take this off because this is the base stitching that I did to keep it all together at the beginning while I did the decorative stitching to hold it down, hold it in place. So this, I mean, it's a bit wasteful doing it cutting it like this because I could reuse some of the thread, but to be honest, right now I'm not worried. A little bit of white thread I can afford to sacrifice. The reason I'm pulling it out, because I normally leave it, but the reason I'm pulling it out is because I don't want it to catch every time I put something in, and it would do that. Yeah, I've been doing lots of gardening. I've got sweet peas. Oh yeah, they're doing well. I've got, my roses are okay. They're not great this year, but that's partly because I didn't trim them, and I should have in February. That's my usual practice, and I just left it, so my fault. They're okay. They'll survive, but yeah. I've got quite a few roses in bloom at the moment though, so it's nice. So yeah, a lot going on in the garden. I did some hanging baskets. Does anybody garden here? Anybody who's here? Anybody enjoy gardening? I find it's my, it's a hobby, it's my passion. A lot of my plants are wild plants because I want to support the wildlife, and if they have a herbal purpose, a therapeutic purpose, then I will also grow them for that as well. So I've got quite a lot of plants that maybe you wouldn't have in your garden, for example. It's not a structured garden in the same way that a suburban garden might be. It's a cottage garden, but with a lot of wild plants, and they, after a while, I admit they don't look great because they tend to get leggy and then they go to seed quickly. That's just the nature of them, but try to keep them going as long as possible. Harvest them where I can, and this is it's a 3-year-old garden now, but literally had nothing. Now it's full of cottage garden and herbs and yeah, really happy with it. One big success this year is Clary Sage, and it looks amazing. Now, it wouldn't be necessarily everybody's cup of tea. It's a tall plant, huge leaves, beautiful big tall blooms, and it's used in a lot of industries, sort of cosmetic industries, perfume industries. It's also therapeutic. It has therapeutic properties. So it's a very useful plant for a herbalist. So yeah, that's doing super well. It's a biennial, so it put down its, rosette last year, and then this year it's huge and fully grown, beautiful plant. Now, hopefully, it will, like a lot of biennial plants, it will get seeds, and it will start new plants for next year. That's what I'm hoping. I had one in one of my previous gardens, and it didn't do that, so I was absolutely gutted because it was a nice specimen. This is even better. So yeah, really happy with them. So lots going on in the garden, that's what I'm trying to say, and it attracts all the butterflies and things. Right, now I've faffed on too much. I know I have, but I'm not taking them out because obviously they're my other stitches. Okay, don't have to take everything out. I shouldn't really be pulling all this out either because it's going to... Now, why did I do that? That was silly. I'm going to have to... Oh no, yeah, that's going to be the... I've done it at the top as well, I think. No, I haven't. So I've just done it at the bottom. I was thinking, why have I taken those out? Because that's going to come away. But this is probably going to get stitched. Right, now, stop faffing, Julie, get on with it. So the base of it, I was thinking I'd use scraggy old cloth. This is what I used. Before, so just thinking, right, I don't want to use, if I've got a stained bit, I want to use that because it's going to get covered over, I think. Is it? Yeah, it is. I need it, I want it to be of a certain thickness. I don't want it too thin. I've got some white cotton that will go over the top of it, so yeah. So what I need to do, this isn't a brilliant way of doing it. I should have done it some other way, but I'm going to do it this way. Don't shout at me. I'm going to just do a very loose circle. That doesn't work. Need a darker one. Here. Like that. So a loose circle is slightly that's the only problem. I should probably just, well, anyway. Oh, sorry, hit my head. I know that I'm not doing this right. Like I said, don't come at me. But it will be big enough. That's the main thing. And then I can sort it out afterwards. So I'll just make it slightly bigger here, like that. Okay. Don't do as I do. Do it properly. And don't ask me how to do it properly. I have no idea. Okay, this is not very good. They're not very sharp. 1 second. I'm just going to get my scissors. are they? I thought they were in my bedroom, but they're not. That was Rudy having a good old shake. He's doing well. He's doing very well, and he's learning to walk to heal, which it was desperately needed. But it was not when he's with other dogs, because he is a bit of a nightmare when he's with his friends. He tries to be the boss, and in doing that, he creates a lot of anxiety in everybody, because he screams, barks really loudly. He misbehaves. And when you're out in public, it's all very well when I'm walking in the woods, or when we're walking in the woods, but when you're out in public, in a public place, it's a nightmare. So the reason he does it is because he wants to be in charge. He wants to be in the front. He wants to protect. He wants to be the alpha, bless him. He is the smallest dog of all of them. We've got three dogs, including Rudy, 3 right now. There we go. So that's obviously going to be way too big, but it gives me a starting point. Way too big, so I'm just going to take more off. I'll go to the line that I cut, that I originally... You know what I should do, don't you? Yes, Julie, we do know. Yes. Okay, good. Because that's what I'm going to do. Try and get a better... I can hear you all saying, what on earth are you doing, Julie? Put the scissors down and walk away. Okay, right. Let's see. Oh, it's so funny this morning. We had a massive thunderstorm this morning. And I was looking at the roses, and I was like, I knew the thunderstorm was coming. I could tell. Now, you call me a bit loopy, but I get a strange sensation before a thunderstorm. It's like, I used to struggle with migraines, and before I had a migraine I would get what's called an aura. So anyone who struggles with migraines will know what I'm talking about. The aura is a sensation that you get before it comes on, and I think people get that also with epilepsy. Maybe it's different with epilepsy, a different type, but with migraines you get it as well. And I also get it when I eat monosodium glutamate. I don't get migraines anymore, or very rarely. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. Okay, so next thing I want to do after all that palaver is get some throat quiet cotton that will go as the base. I'm just cutting it off screen because it's a bit big, and I just want it to just cut it a bit and then I can hear you saying, what a palaver. And I apologise for my palavering. That's not a real word, by the way. I think my mind's going 10 to the dozen today because I'm forgetting what I'm talking about. I'm going off in different directions. I guess that's not new, because I've forgotten what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the thunder. Yeah, the aura thing. And yeah, does anybody else get that? It's weird. So I knew one was coming. I felt unwell. And that was about 6:30. I started to feel a bit unwell, 6:30 a.m. Woke up very early as the usual. And I thought, this is weird. I think, you know, we might be going to get some thunder. And then lo and behold, it started. I think it was about 7:30 in the morning, something like 7, something like that. And wow, it was amazing. I mean, it was really loud, really, really loud. And what I'd done is I knew, because I knew it was coming, I thought, you know, the roses are really going to get bashed down. They always do. And so I ran outside with a pair of scissors in my hand, intending to cut some blooms, because I thought, well, you know, they're better off in my house than getting bashed down and being, you know, decimated. So I ran outside with a pair of scissors in my hand. At the same time, a bolt of lightning came down and like came really close to the house. I could have been toast, you know. It happened so fast. I didn't even think, you know, I wasn't expecting it to come that quickly. I mean, the skies were dark. I knew it was going to rain, but I didn't expect it to be so. So this is going to be the inside, I think, because it's not like I'm going to look inside. I know it's stained, but do I want that on the outside? Does it matter? Shall I do another? Can you bear me to do another one? That gives it a much nicer feel, actually, doing the two. I think I will. I think I'll do the two. I should have done that anyway. Okay, so let's do this. I think it will just give it a sturdier base for it to work on. Okay, sorry about this. Right, I'll do this off screen. Otherwise you'll be here all day. Okay, back. So I've sandwiched that in between. I've just put dollops of glue on there for the minute. So this is how I'm going to do it. It's not the right way, it's just my way. Not doing it right. Don't do as I do. I'm only here for entertainment purposes, and you know, you might disagree with that. This is not a tutorial, guys. This is a how not to do something, especially with blunt scissors. These are my paper scissors. And I do need to get, now I do keep, weirdly, I do keep things like this because I make ribbons out of them for my tags and things. I did just throw a bundle of other stuff away, so don't, you know, I'm not completely mad. No, hang on, what am I doing? Should be that way. Right, so that's still too big, but you'll see what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it inside. Yeah, way too big. Alright, okay, yeah. I know what I'm doing now. Do I? Yeah. Right, okay, so now I think I know what I'm doing now. I got confused. My circle is still too big. I've just cut it down again and it's still way too big, but I think it will work if I'm doing it correctly. Now I don't know if it will easily go, this thread will easily, sorry, this needle will easily go through here. So which way? Yes, it's that way. Let's see. Oops. Next time I'll go and see if there's a tutorial that can help me. Why? You know what I think? I think the last time, you know what I should have done? And I don't know why I didn't think of it. I should have put something inside to make it stable so that it didn't fall down all the time. So like this. I should have done that. So I think I did it with the last time. I just had a flashback. So that's a tip for you, in case you didn't realise. That's a tip from somebody who has absolutely no idea what she's doing. No, I think I just had a flashback. Yeah, I'm doing it right. I doubt myself over and over again because I just do. Right, now I am pinning it, but I will be very cautious about where I sew it so that I don't take up too much space. I think I need to give it a little bit of give. There, and oops, sorry guys. Here. There we go, and then I'll do one more there, just for extra security. There we go. Right, so then if we turn, well, I'm not going to turn it on, I'm just going to sew it, because then I can cut the excess off. Okay, and then it will look like, let's turn it in the proper way, so it will look like, have I done it right? Yes, I have. It will look like that. Probably could have done with using a different colour actually, but never mind. I could have done with using this. And I had more of that, so I could have used it. Never mind, doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see the bottom, are they? Right, so let's start again with sewing. And I'll try not to, you know, not to be too dramatic about it. So what I'm going to try and do is stick to, if I need to adjust it, I will, but I'm going to try and just make sure I don't go too far. I'm going to try and not go over the, it hasn't gone all the way through. I'm going to try and not go into this here. So where I can see that there's not much there to go in. I'm going to have to then. Okay, well, that's okay. So, well, let's just go into it so it's not all wonky. I'm going to have to do backstitch as well because it just simply won't work otherwise. It will be too loose. Oh, I need my others. I need, it's hard to see with it being white. There. Okay. So yeah, I'll try and do my best to do backstitch. this is going to be boring for you to watch. So I will do a little bit and then I will come back. It is very fiddly, I will say that, you know, and I know some of you would lose, well, I don't know you, some of you would, but I imagine it would be very testing, especially in this heat. If anybody's trying to, you know, do it in the heat of the day. I'm really hoping I've got this right. Pretty sure this is how I did it with the last one, but I feel like I don't feel 100% that I'm getting it right. But it is what it is. I just have to, I can't even. Right. Lots of editing on this. Just doesn't feel right to me. I'm going to try and do the back stitch again now. Just follow the circle. Itchy nose. Somebody's talking about me, I think. Is that what it says? Itchy nose. Someone's gossiping about you. So I'm pretty sure I've started off with a few different conversations and forgotten all about them and left them halfway through. But yeah, so talking about the heat, talking about, I don't know what I was talking about. I have been thinking about you guys. I don't completely switch off when I'm, you know, I think about coming on and, you know, saying hello and things like that. And then, you know, I feel just slightly, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't feel good about not coming on. But it, you know, it becomes, yeah, you know, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing. But I'm sure, you know, you do seem, some of you do seem to enjoy the videos. So I'm going to try and carry on and hope that you enjoy the videos. This one might send me over the edge and I'm never ever coming on again. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, I can't sustain what I was doing before. I just can't, unless something changes in my mindset. I'm just too, don't know what the word is. It's not that I lack motivation. I think it's just, I don't feel that I'm doing a good enough job. And when that happens, you know, well, yeah. It's not that you have to give up. It's just that you have to look at yourself and what is it that's causing you to feel that way. And with YouTube, it's very difficult because people are motivated either by the numbers of people that they get. Well, it's not either or. It's just, you know, these are some of the motivations. So the number of people, subscribers, the amount of money they make, and, you know, whether they get recognition by, you know, sponsorships or whatever, you know, all of these different benefits that you can achieve with YouTube. But I don't do any of that now. I did start, at one point I made some money when I did monetize my channel after a little bit of thought, and then I promptly stopped. So yeah, it's not something that I'm going to do. So I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to just and so yeah, so all of those, for those reasons, it's I think about what is motivating me to do this, and what am I getting out of it, you know, and is it making me feel good about myself? And the answer quite often is no, it doesn't, because of those things that I've mentioned. You know, you do feel when you know, your numbers don't increase and all of those sorts of things, whatever the motivation is, or you don't make money. No, this, I'm not talking about me here, I'm just talking about in general. Then yeah, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel like, why am I doing this? And because it takes a lot of energy to do these things, and time and energy. Right, so you have to question it a little bit. Right, so that looks neat. I'm happy enough with that. I mean, it's not going to be on show or anything. I can trim it a little bit more. I'm only trimming it where I've sewn it so far. So yeah, so I will carry on with this. I'll go around and then I'll show you the end. Okay, so I'm back. So I've finished sewing the bottom in. That needs, I just want to maybe stitch that down, but everything else, and that maybe, but actually it doesn't really need it, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like from the outside. So yeah, it's worked really well. There's no issues. It sits nicely. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I will do more stitching on it. I'm pretty sure I will. I feel like I just love that. Love this work here, but I love it all actually. We'll just, yeah, as I said, I will just make sure that's down. Now I want to keep this frayed edge here, but so it's got a stitch, the basting stitch on the inside there, and I want to just neaten that up a little bit. I'm not keen on it. It is raggy inside, you know. I mean, I'll just turn it the other way so you can have a look. So it is quite raggy on the inside, so it's not like it needs to be anything neat. I think it's actually quite neat though, considering the struggle I had initially. But yeah, I'm happy with it overall. What I want to do though is just tidy it up a little bit, and put some nice stitching around the edge. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some embroidery thread. So once I've taken that off, then that will, you know, so what I'll do is I'll stitch it first and then I'll take the basting stitch off. I just don't like the basting stitch. It's quite ugly, sort of sitting there. But yeah, really happy with it. Otherwise, I think it's, considering that, you know, I'm glad I put 3 layers of fabric there, because it does give it a nice sturdy base. If for example I had put less of a I mean, that could, it's probably too short to do that, but I mean, with a longer one you could potentially have a little closure on it and pull it in, you know, like something like that. Too small to do that with this, but yeah, I think it would look quite nice. Maybe that would be another project. So yeah, so I just thought I'd share that with you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sew around the edge, I think. I might do that. You know, I quite like that effect as well, even though, because even though I wouldn't do it with this one, I'm wondering about, you know, I like that effect where you turn it over. So like if I were to use some nice fabric on the inside, that could look really cool, you know, if you turned it over, if you maybe had more of a decorative internal. But that makes it really sturdy, having it that size. So yeah, really happy with it. Actually, I do think I'll probably leave it here, and then I'll finish off. Yeah, I'll do some slow stitching, and then I'll finish off, and I will show you it. Pull it out of shape then. But yeah, I'm happy with it overall. I hope you like it. I think the, you know, where I stitched it here, I'm not worried about that showing at all. I think that's quite nice anyway, it's a contrast. Yeah, so I will stitch on the inside, and then I will show you what it looks like. Hello, I'm back again. So I switched off for a little while. Actually, it's the next, is it the next day? I can't remember. I think it's the next, yes, it is the next day. So I've got my beautiful sweet peas. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at those. Stunning. Right now, so when I last filmed 2 days ago or a day ago, I can't remember if it was yesterday, my brain is just addled with this heat. Anyway, so you saw me finish this bit, covered in stuff. Rudy's hair there, gets everywhere. But what you didn't see was me do this here, and I said I would show you. Now I'm going to, while you're here, I'm just going to do another row. So I know I had the thread, what have I done with it? Oh, I might do a different colour, you know. Just wondering whether is there a gold, this colour here? Yes, definitely, that's perfect because it goes with these. So I've got the blue, which is a lot of blue and a lot of gold in this, so this is perfect. Right, so let me just do one row, or maybe two, and then I'll be done. I think it's finished. I say that, I mean, I could do more, you know, decorative stitching. I'd like to sort of brighten that up a little bit, but I think it's nice to discover things. I think that would look nice on there. But anyway, yeah, so I think at some point it has to, you know, be finished. I'm just going to split the thread. Excuse me. Oh, I've got my window open. I hope it's not too loud for you guys. It is loud for me, but I have to have it open. I don't know what I've done with the needle. I think that's it. It's just too warm. And as I said yesterday, it's we don't have central heat. You know, the cooler air coming. I mean, we had really strong thunderstorms all day yesterday. Sort of after I'd done some work in here, and I mentioned it to you guys, it got worse. Well, no, it didn't get worse. That's not true. It started up again later on in the afternoon. So yeah, it was pretty strong. Just go out here. Yeah, so I just thought, well, it'd be nice to do a little bit of slow stitch on this. I mean, I could have gone in between, but I think I'll just, what I wanted to do was, so what I've done you might see, it's not that obvious, I guess, but I've gone in between, so I've alternated, and I'm going to alternate with this one as well. So I feel like I've got a sore throat coming on. I woke up feeling very groggy this morning, groggy and heavy. My head, had a very heavy head, and my voice, I mean, I do lose my voice regularly, but I've got a bit of a sore throat, so I don't know if that's the reason why my voice is a bit croaky. I don't remember it being croaky yesterday, but it might have been. Just get used to it, you know. Anyway, hope you're all okay. I know this has been a long drawn out project because I haven't been on finishing it off until now, and I apologise for not being around. I don't think there's anything I can update you with from yesterday. I don't lead that much of an eventful life. I mean, my sister asked me to do something this evening, but because I've been feeling under the weather, I said not tonight, maybe tomorrow. But I don't know if the thunder, because I am affected by thunder and lightning, and I don't know if it was that set this off, because, you know, I definitely felt that it was affecting me yesterday, but I didn't expect to wake up feeling affected by it. But maybe it isn't, you know, maybe this is a sore throat from something else. Anyway, yeah, I like this. I was even thinking of, you know, decorating the bottom of it as well, doing sort of a circle going round and round. I mean, you know, it's nice to decorate the outside, that's the bit you see more of, but I think it's quite nice to decorate the inside as well. If you're not using, well, in my case, because I'm not using pretty fabrics or colourful fabrics, but if you are, then you don't need to really do very much. I suppose you could do some slow stitch on the inside like this, but still, you know, but yeah, sorry about that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be awful, because as I've mentioned on lots of occasions, even though I live in a rural area, in a village, I live on the high street, and a lot of traffic goes past constantly. Luckily, my craft room, you know, my bedroom is at the back of the house, because, although having said that, when the windows are closed, it's not too bad. When I first moved in, I always kept my bedroom window open, you know, even in the winter, just because I like fresh air coming in. And but there was always this dog barking around about 2 or 3 o'clock, and it just went on and on and on. I could never understand why a dog would be out at that time, you know, and why they would bark every night at the same time. It's almost like they let their dog out at that time of night, just to bark. It was bizarre. And my next door neighbour also complained to me once and said, you know, can you hear that dog barking? And I said, yeah, it's really bad, you know, but I have to close my window now because it wakes me up if I manage to get to sleep. Anyway, yeah, so I ended up having to close my window, and then, so I haven't heard it for a long time, and then obviously with this weather it's open again and I can hear it. Luckily, Rudy, despite being a dachshund, which apparently they do react to barking, you know, with other dogs. He doesn't seem to react too badly. He has occasionally barked at someone going by, but he knows that I don't like it, so and when he's with other dogs, he will join in if they bark, you know, if a dog barks, or if he feels threatened in some way. A really huge dog went past recently and Rudy just, you know, reacted. I mean, it was huge. What are they called? Those big ones, very, very big ones, the biggest ones, tall. I forget what they're called now. Great Dane. My uncle used to have a Great Dane. Beautiful dogs. My uncle also used to have an E-type Jaguar, which was very, very, you know, hip. It was white, and whenever he came to our house, you know, we'd be really proud of it. I asked him to take me to school one day, and he never did. I don't think he did. I mean, I would have thought I'd have remembered, but I remember school children saying, "Whose is that car?" You know, my neighbours and other children around that had noticed it, because you just didn't see them that often where I lived. You know, they were not just expensive cars, they were very, very sophisticated cars, you know. Only the London types, home counties people had them. But anyway, yeah, he had a Great Dane as well. I think it was called Henry. No surprises there. I think they're often called Henry, or used to be. I think I might be making that up, but I seem to remember the name Henry. I mean, I was only young. I was only 8. Something like that, when they had the dog. Yeah, I think I was 8, around 8. Right, there we go. So I've come round. I don't think I will do it. I think it's nice to just sometimes just, you know, not do the obvious. The obvious might be to do a second row of the orangey gold colour. I like that very much. I really like it. And I love this. I just, you know, think it's gorgeous. I hope you like it. I hope that I've been, you know, I've made it clear. So there they are together. This one obviously has a lot of rubbish in. Well, not rubbish, I shouldn't say. Oh, there's the blue. Typical. Yeah. So this was the one I did before. You can find, oh, there's a mark on it there, look. Oh no, that's part of, but this was a piece of rust-dyed cloth, that's why it's got that mark on. But yeah, love doing this one. You can, if you scroll back, you'll see Vessel. I think it was Roxy Creations, and actually I think it was Roxy Creations who inspired this one again. I mean, although I had been saying I was going to do one, but I think Rachel or Sarah might have been doing one, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do another one, but obviously made it a lot bigger. I think they were doing a ball, and I thought I'd do a ball, but I ended up doing this, so there you go. So I hope you like it. I could, you know, decorate that, because it does look a bit strange being white. This one is, you know, the same colour as the inside of his, just calico. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here because it's time's getting on, but I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, you will probably see it, no doubt, when I'm doing my work, you know, and I've got bits in it, but hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back soon, I hope, for another video. but let's just squash it down a little bit so you can see it. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Take care, everyone.